Hey everybody, welcome back. So today we're talking about Paralives, specifically the Paramaker. So I'm going to be going over everything in the Paramaker, from the skin tones, from changing the body type, from the age, gender, voice, clothing, all that, so you know everything before jumping into the game. So let's get right into it. All right, so when you first start off, you're going to be able to create a new household. So you go ahead and click that. And this is where the magic happens. This is where you can create your characters. So at the bottom, you see your first character here. You can go ahead if you want to add a new one. So you can press create para, create from genetics. So that means that if you create from genetics, it's going to take from what the character looks like already. So kind of like if you had like a mom or a daughter, or two parents and a son, or whichever, right? So there are tons of different sections here. So we're going to go through one by one so that you know exactly what you need to do here. So first off, this is our person, and there is a lot going on. So this is your overall person. So this is where you can find the different skin tones. So there are a bunch that you can automatically choose from. If you don't like the skin tones that are there, you can press this plus button, and this is where you can actually do an advanced mode creation for your skin tones. So we have the skin, highlights, shadows, blush, lips, and palms. So you have full range. So if you want maybe a purple character, you can definitely do that. The game allows you to have full creativity over your character. So if you want to edit it, just like what I did, so let's say you accidentally clicked off and you're trying to edit, just right click and press edit. Super easy. So you can do like the blush, you can do the lips, and I'm just using purple just so you can see, but you can have full range of what it looks like. If you don't like it, just right click again. So X out of here, right click and press delete. All right, so for the gender of your character, it is just going to be right down here in this little ticket here. So you're going to see age, and this is where you can have a baby, you can have a toddler, a child, preteen, a teen, a young adult, and then an elder. So we all start off being a young adult, but you can choose whichever one you would like. And then for the genders, we have female, male, non-binary, and you can actually click this advanced personality, and it allows you to do even more. It allows you to give them different pronouns if you would like. You can choose if they can get pregnant, get others pregnant, or neither. If you don't want to, they can either breastfeed or don't breastfeed. And you can even change the jealousy. So you can say that they never get jealous, or they get jealous from seeing a partner kissing or being intimate with someone else, or seeing a partner have physical attraction with somebody else. So you can change all of this to whichever you would like it to be, which I really like how they added this advanced personality detail here. And then down here, we have the voice. So there is smooth, there's rough, and there's mellow. So there's only 3 of them right now that you can choose from. And then, of course, we have our first name, last name, and then you could also choose if you want to add a nickname, middle name, last name first, whichever you would prefer. Or if you want, you can do a little randomizer. I usually do randomizer, but it's totally up to you. Be creative with that. And then, so now we have our person. We already talked about the skin tone. So over at the side here, it allows you to fully change whatever details you would like. So if you want her head position to be taller or lower, or if you want maybe the traps to be a bit more broad or maybe not, you can change how muscly they are. So if you want them super muscly, not so muscly. This also changes the body fat. So whatever you would like. And then, so all you have to do is click on it, and then you can move the arrow around. Some of them are a little bit different where they have an actual little square, and you just move it around and it changes the placement. So for example, right now we're changing the chest placement. So if you want it like up higher, lower, far apart, closer together, whichever you would prefer. If you don't want to use this advanced system, you can always use the presets. So there are presets for different body types. So there are some that are more feminine, some are more masculine, so you can choose whatever you would like. I tend to like to use a base, and then I will go in and I will change, things that I want to change on my para. So if I want to make their head bigger, smaller, shoulders, you can also turn them. So to turn them around, you just hold right click and you can turn them around just so you can see a little bit more of what's happening here. This is the height here. So if you want them to be taller, shorter, there we are. Then we also have some skin details here. So there is moles. You can add more than one. And what's really nice is that if you see a little circle here, you can change the color. And just like the skin tone, you can press the plus button here and you can change it to whichever color you would like. And if you don't like it, then you can delete it, and you can use one of the ones here. If you press this little arrow button, so it's to edit the placement, and you can do so by dragging. If you can't see it, just move your para, and then you can move the mole whichever. There's rotation, there's flip, and then there's the scale, so you can make it smaller, bigger, whichever you would like. If you don't want it there anymore, just click on it again. And there we are. There's different mole types, different moles, so you can put it on the other arm. So if you want to put a mole on that arm and a mole on this arm, you can definitely do so. There's also for the chest, so if you want the chest, and then you can move it anywhere you would like. So if you have like a mole here, you can put one there, or like freckles, you can move it around. Some of them don't have the placement depending on what you're choosing. But yeah, the scale is quite large. Okay. And then, yeah, so you can choose. There's the arms, head, chest, back, leg. There's scars. So if you have, this is for cellulite here. Oh, sorry. So where did the scars go? Scars. There's also scars here as well if you want to make them a bit. Can't really see it because she's wearing a bra, but yes, there is scars there as well. Here, let me see if I can show you. So if you're somebody that's maybe you want someone that's transitioning, so if you want them to show the scars, that is something that you can add in this game, which I think is quite amazing for them to add in here. So that is something that you can add. It is under scars. Where is it? Scars, and then this is the scar top surgery. It's right there. And you can change the opacity if you want just light, darker. You can change the color of it, all that stuff there. And same with the cellulite here. You can do the same thing for the cellulite. We have freckles. I think I already showed you guys that. We also have acne. So this is back acne. And then we have birthmarks, which you can move as well. So this is on the arm. So you can move the birthmark on the arm. All right, so next we have the body hair. You do have the option to match the hair color. If you don't want to, you can choose the hair color. You just have to toggle this on and off. And the same thing, you can also pick the hair color with the color wheel here if you would like. So I'm just gonna match mine just to show you. So we have this hair here. There's this hair, this hair, this hair, this one, arm hair. There is more arm hair. Oh my gosh, sorry. There is leg hair, and you can stack these actually. So if you want to stack them up, you can definitely do so. You can pick more than one. So I have 3 going right now. You more leg hair, and then kind of like less leg hair. So these are the options for the leg hair or the hair in general. Then we do have facial hair. So the same thing, you can match the hair color. So we have this one here. There's this one. This one, kind of like a light one. We have sort of like a beard here. This one, that, a bigger beard. And there we are. And then we also have, so we did already see the torso hair. So these are all just the same. but just in different sections. So if you're looking for something specific, you can definitely do so. If you're not, you can actually just scroll through all of them, just all the body hair, but it just depends on what you're looking for here. And then we have chest shape presets. So this is where I have the bra, or you can just have no bra. So it just depends on what type of character you're making. And then we also have bottom shape presets. So this one here, and then we also have this one here. So these two. And then next we're going to be going into, so we already did the skin color, but there are face presets. So if you're somebody like myself who can spend hours, you know, playing around, but you want to get something like a base, there are tons of presets here. So you can choose from all types. And if you like the preset, but you maybe want a different skin color, you can definitely do so. Some are more masculine, some are more feminine. So what I like to do is I like to choose a preset that I like, and then you can go in at the side here and you can really edit the head. So again, you can change the head size. You can change, so we can zoom in here. So you can change your eyebrow width. You can change the eye size, the nose size. You can change the mouth here, also how big the lips are. You can change the jaw, again the jaw, the ears. So everything is pretty customizable. It's actually pretty insane. If you turn her to the side, you can change like the forehead, the lips, chin, the jaw again here, neck. You want like it out more or in more. The thickness of the neck as well. Ears again here. Move it around wherever you would like it. And then, yeah, so you can really change everything when it comes to the head. If you don't want to do that, that is totally okay. So you could go ahead again with the presets. And then we also, if you click these buttons here, there are going to be eye presets as well. So tons of different eyes to choose from. You can choose one that you like. There's different eye colors as well. So you also have the choice if you click this button here. So it will edit the para's right side. You can do edit both sides, or you can edit just the left side. So if you want like, you know, the two different color eyes, you can totally do that 100%. And then make sure to put it back so that when you edit, they are both being edited. And then and over on this side, you can change everything about the eyes. It's actually crazy how much you can do with it. It goes even further. So we go into eyebrows. There are tons of different eyebrow shapes. If you want no eyebrows, that's totally possible too. And then we also have eyebrow presets. And then you can change the color as well. And then you can edit over at the side. Same with eyelashes. So you can edit the eyelashes. Super cute, and change the color if you would like, or if you want to do like maybe she's wearing mascara or they're wearing mascara, right? You can change it. That's a crazy color. We also have the highlights of the eyes, which is pretty cool. I love that. And we do have dark circles. So if my para is like me, where we have some pretty crazy dark circles, and you can add the different swatches too if you would like. Super cool. Super, super cool. I love how they added this. So we have the different noses. So the nose presets. All of them here. And then just like the others, you can edit everything about the nose. So this is the front of the nose. So you can edit the width of the bridge. There we are. And then if you turn it, you can change everything about like the nose shape here. Yeah. We also have the nose tip. So if you want to change the nose tip, you could definitely do that. We have different lips. So these are the different lips that we have. I think I skipped those ones. Tons of different ones. And then You can change everything about it. So you can make it bigger, change the upper lip shape, the depth. So this one you'll be able to see more from the side here. Same here. And then lower lip shape. And then there we are. And also if you want to like have kind of like an upward mouth corner or like downwards, totally up to you. And yeah, up and down. She looks a little wacky right now, but that's okay. And then we have facial structures. So we do have the ears, different ear shapes. They can also be different as well. So let's say one side, if you want one side to have this one and then the other side to have that, you could definitely do that. We have the different forehead presets, which you can't really see because the hair is definitely in the way. So we'll just make her bald right now. Let's go back here. So different forehead presets. We have the different jaw presets, the different chin presets, and the cheek presets. It really changes the person's look depending on what you choose. It's actually so crazy. Like so crazy. And then we have the different mustaches. So we did go through these already, but they are all here. If you want more precision or like looking for something specific, you can choose like mustache. This is goatees, short beards, long beards. And then actually let's get rid of the beards just so you can see what we're doing here. And then we also have, which we already went over, the skin details, but these ones are a little bit different. So we have moles, so the different moles. And again, you can move them around whichever you would like. So you can move them around the face like that, like right underneath the eye. Or you could have none. And then same here. So you can choose where you want the mole. There's also scars. So there's this one is a face scar. It went on her face here. There's a nose scar. There's also this head scar here. Another head scar on this side. This one is right here near the cheek. The other side of the cheek. And then we have this one here, which I actually can't see it. I apologize. I do not know where this is. Let's see. Oh, it's on the arm right here. And you can move it around. And then you can choose where you would like it as well. So if you would like it like on the leg. There we are. And then we also have freckles. You can change the opacity. You can change the color. And then we also have acne. So you can change the color as well. And then the opacity too. So if you could just slide it up and down. I find it cool that they gave acne. There we are. And then next we're moving into the hair. So over at the side, we have all the different types. So we have short hair, there is medium hair, long hair, tied up hair. This is hair coverings. And then we went through the facial hair already. So we're going to go through the different short hair, but these are the hair colors that you can use. If you would like, you can click the plus button and go into the advanced mode. And this is where you can change the hair color. So this would be like the main color. Then we have the tips and then you have the roots. Obviously, this is a really bad hairstyle to choose for that, but you can totally customize it however you would like. So you can go in, you can change the tip color to maybe something, we could do like a blue. And then the roots, maybe she wants green roots. So it's kind of like a rainbow. You know what I mean? You can totally do that. So now we're going to go over the different hairs. So I can show you what they look like. So short. Oop. There we are. And then we have the medium length. I'll do a lighter color so you can like really see the details. It's pretty cool that they gave so many options just starting out in early access. And then we're moving into the long ones. This one's kind of tied back. She reminds me of somebody with this hair. Like an old YouTuber. And then we have the tied up hair. Oh, wow. Look how long this hair is. And then we have the head coverings. So there's only 2, but you can change the colors of them if you would like. Same with this one here. And then you can also use the advanced color for both of them. You just have to click on it and press the plus button. And then we also have the mustaches, which we did go over a bit earlier, so I'm not going to go over them again, but they are all here. So next we're going to be going into the makeup. So we have eyeshadows. You can stack these. And then you can also change the color here in the opacity. So this one's underneath the eyes. And if you want to have another one on top, you could definitely do that as well. And give her a different looks that way, or give them different looks that way. So there are a bunch of different ones here. So I'll just show you them. And then we also have eyeliners. This is as far as I can zoom in, unfortunately. But these are the different eyeliners. Little hearts. Kind of a wing going upwards. And then we have different lipsticks. So she has one on already. So there's this one, and you can change the color and like the opacity of it. There's this one. Then we have different blushes. Again, you can change the opacity here. And you can change the color. Little hearts. And then we have full face makeup. So there's this kind of zombie patchwork look. There's a face mask. There's this kind of like sunscreen sort of look. And then we have a clown. And you can change the clown colors too, which is pretty cool. And then we also have, which is so cool, we have tattoos. So we have this one here. I'll zoom in so you can kind of see it. Oop. So here's the tattoo. So you can change the color. So you can go and change it. And then you can actually move it around too. Up and down the arm. You can also change the scale to be smaller, larger. You can rotate it. You can flip it. So there's that one, that one. And you can stack them too. So let's say you want like a full sleeve. Whoop. So if you want a full sleeve, you could go ahead and place one like here, and then you can go ahead and edit the placement of the grapes. Make the scale maybe, I'll just leave it like that, like that. Then we can do this one where you move that one down here. Obviously, you'd have to make it look a bit better than what I'm doing, but you can do like a full sleeve, which is pretty cool. So there's this, kind of like a leaf, a guitar, a record, a snake that looks like a heart head, flowers. It looks like 2 dragons. Oops. And then we have this here. And then you can do it for different arms as well. So you can do it on the other side. It's also for the head, so you can put it on their head if you would like. You can put it on their chest and move it around. Give them a chest piece. Get them really tatted up. This one's massive. We may have to make it a bit smaller. Ah, it's not letting me. But yeah, you can definitely move all of them around. Some of them are just really big. Oh my gosh. You can do like a back piece. You can do legs if you would like. So that's one leg, and then you can do like the other leg. All right, so once you're done creating your character, you can then go to clothing. So there's a bunch of different clothing options. So we do have headwear. So there's caps, beanies, hats, the head coverings, and masks. So for caps, we have this cap here. There's a backwards cap, this hat, and this hat. And all of them can be dyed as well, and there's different varieties. So if you see like this little dot, you can click on it and you can see like a variant of the item, and then you can color it however you would like. And then there's beanies, the hats. Oops. This is a mushroom hat. That's cute. A Santa hat and a sun hat. And our coverings. The one thing is the ears do stick out. So hopefully in the future they fix that to make it look a little bit better. And then we also have the masks. This one's terrifying. Pumpkin. The face mask. And then a chef's hat. There's glasses. So we have thin frames. We have thick frames. Then we also have this here, which it doesn't look like there is any at the moment. We also have earrings. This one's cool. It's a little cow being brought up by aliens. AirPods. These earrings here. These earrings here. There's also face piercings or just piercings. And you can stack them, which is really cool to get you a look that you like. So here is the double nose, the septum, another septum, this one here, eyebrows, this here, these like snake bite things. I don't know the names of piercings. I apologize, guys. I apologize. We have these cheek ones. We have 2 studs in the nose. These ones here. The lip. There's a clown nose in here for some reason. We have this one here. The under the lip. We have a nose chain going from one to the other. And we also have these ones here. Then we also have some necklaces. I'll just go through each one just so you can see. And that looks like just a worker lanyard. And there's also medical items. So here's a hearing aid. And then we also have a mask. Okay, so now we have some more clothing. So we have casual shirts, dress shirts, sweatshirts, swimwear, pajamas, outer layers, and there's also costumes. So for the casual shirts, I'll just go through them so you can see. Again, you are able to completely change the color of them if you would like to do so. We have some polos, some crop tops, some baggy shirts. This one's like super long. And then we also have the dress wear. And then we have sweatshirts. We have bathing suits, pajamas, outerwear. And then you have the costumes. You could be a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. You can wear this costume here. Next, we have the bottoms. So there's tight pants, baggy pants, shorts, skirts, swimwear, pajamas, and the costume. So for tight pants, I'll just zoom out so you can see a bit better. So these are all the tight pants that you can choose from. These are the baggy pants. Or baggier pants, I should say. Not all of them are super baggy. These are the shorts. And then we have skirts. We have swimwear bottoms. We have pajama bottoms. And then we have the costume bottoms. We also have full body outfits. So there's dresses, jumpsuits, overalls, swimwear, pajamas, and costumes. So we have this dress. I'll just go through each one just so you can see each of the dresses that you can choose from. There is a nice variety. So there should be something for everybody. We also have the jumpsuits. We have overalls, which I like the overalls. There's swimwear. There's pajamas. And then for our costumes, we have this cow costume. We have this one here. And we have an Among Us, which is pretty cool. And you can also change the color too, to whichever you would like. So that's pretty cool. Then we also have shoes. So there's casual shoes, boots, loafers, heels, sandals, slippers, and costume shoes. It's really hard for me to show you, so we'll just have to do it from here. I can't really zoom in any further to the feet. These are the boots. These are the loafers. These are the heels, sandals, slippers. We have some Crocs going on here. And then costume shoes. And to top it off, we do have accessories. So we have socks, tights, gloves. There are jewelry. There's nails. There's also some of the, I would say lingerie, but like just undergarments. And then there's also medical items. So for socks, these are the socks here. And you can change the color of them to whichever you would like. And you can also choose which side too. So kind of similar to what we're showing you earlier. You can mix and match however you would like it. There's also leggings. Oh, the socks are still there. Hold tight. Hold tight. There we go. So we have the leggings. There's gloves. Let me zoom in. So the gloves, these ones actually give the character dark fingertips with nails, which is so stinking cool. I love that. Okay. There's gloves. Medical gloves, it looks like, with nails. And then we have the jewelry. So I did go over a bunch of the jewelry already. So I'm not going to go through each one. I already did that a bit earlier in the video. But we didn't go through bracelets, I don't think. So I will go through bracelets. So you can choose which side if you click on this little arrow or this box here. So this would be the right side, this would be the left side, and this is both. So if you want it on both hands, you would click both. But if you just want it on one, you just click one side. So here is the watch. There we are. There are also some rings here, which is really hard to see. It doesn't let me zoom in, unfortunately. But you can kind of see it when you can kind of see it. Yeah, it doesn't really let me zoom in on her hands. I apologize, guys. There's also a belly button piercing here. You can't see it, so I will put on a swimsuit, but there's a belly button piercing right here. And that was under the jewelry for piercings. There are earrings, which we did go through all the earrings already. We went through all of these piercings, and we went through the necklaces already. We do have different nails. Again, I apologize that I can't really show it up close, but you can kind of see it here. But there's tons of different nail styles, even toes. And you can toenails, fingernails. There's undergarments, so top, bras, and binders, which is really nice. Then we have the bottoms. And then we have teddies, which is just one teddy. And then we have medical items, which is the amputated foot here. So you can have both, but if you just want, let's say, one, you can actually click that and just have one or the other, depending on your person. Alrighty, once you're done picking out your para's clothing, you now go to this section here. So this is what's going to give your para their personality. So we do have 7 points that we can put in physique, mind, creativity, and charisma. So you can choose whichever works best for your para. Then you can choose their vibe. So it gives you overjoyed, gloomy, energetic, serious, or jester. So just choose whichever one you want. There's also a social perk. So they could either be good at being alone, good at making friends, good at taking care of others, good at romantic relationships, and good at cooperating. So you can just choose whichever. Then we have a talent. So there's jack of all trades, music, fitness, food, technology, art, and good at nothing. So you can just choose whatever here. There is some lifestyle stuff here too. So we do have, they could be vegetarian. There, you can change their sleeping habits to normal, early bird, or night owl. And you can also change their cleaning habits to normal, sloppy, and neat. So now I'm going to go over these right up here. So this is your back button. You can press undo. So undo last action. This is to save household to your library. This is to household library. So you can click on it and you can look at your household library here. This is the randomizer. So when you click it, it gives you a random para. This is your relationship. So if they have like a family tree, or if they're dating somebody, if they're a daughter to somebody, whoever, whichever, right? And then we also have, so you can send feedback for any bugs here. Right here is the help guide. And then we have the options menu. So you can save, settings, unstuck, storyteller, quit main menu, or go back to resume. For your outfits here, this is your casual outfit. This is your formal outfit. This is your working out outfit and your night sleep outfit, like pajamas. You can randomize it if you would like, or you can go in and you can edit it by clicking the different clothing styles. And that is basically it. So if you did want to add another para, you can create from genetics if you would like, or you can create new, totally up to you. If you decided you don't want them, you can go ahead and press the X and that will, let you know that you can delete it and that it would be permanent. So you're not going to be able to bring that para back, but you can go ahead and delete it if you would like. And that is the full character customization. It is definitely a lot. It reminds me a lot of The Sims with how many different customizations you can do. I really enjoy it. I think it's great with the amount of freedom that we have in the game. It's amazing. I personally like it. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. And if you did find this video helpful, please consider liking and subscribing. And I will see you later. Bye.